So my name is Rayan. I'll just give you a little bit of information about myself. I was born in Sudan, in Africa. I moved to Australia because of the war in Sudan and because of my deafness. So we moved to Melbourne and went to the hospital there, and they did a bit of background investigation and said that I was profoundly deaf. I went to a mainstream school and mixed with a few deaf people and hard of hearing people as well, within a predominantly hearing environment. And then when I went to secondary school, there were only very few deaf people at the school that I attended. And in the next few years at school, the numbers of deaf people reduced quite considerably. And I was the only deaf girl in the school, and that was really hard for me to communicate with other people. There wasn't much assistance in terms of educational support, and it was really hard for me to find, other deaf people for me to interact with. And I needed to improve my confidence, and interacting with other deaf people helped me do that. So the youth grant enabled me to cover the costs of being involved in the National Deaf Netball team, inclusive of airfare, registration, and other things like that. When I arrived at the Australian Deaf Games in Albury-Wodonga, I met other deaf people there, and I was really nervous. I didn't know how I was going to communicate with them. I didn't know anyone, and they were from all over Australia. But we started talking, and it was just a normal conversation, and that allowed me to improve my language. I was exposed to a lot more signs, and it improved my confidence, because really, I think my confidence was depleted before then. I had to learn to be a bit more assertive and talk to new people and just meet new deaf people. My advice to those young people who are going to apply for a youth grant is that if you feel a little bit unsure of the process, you've got an aim, you've got something that you need support for, and a youth grant can help you to achieve those goals. So don't feel reserved. Always ask people, ask the staff at DCA what you can include in your grant, and don't worry about what other people have said to you, in relation to you not being able to achieve your goals. You can, because hearing people don't always understand what deaf people need, and that youth grant is of real benefit for you, and you can improve your confidence and achieve your goals. You can strengthen your weaknesses through the application to a youth grant.